From the city lights to the country blue, Woody and Lew got the sports for you. From Boston streets to Kentucky's fields, get ready, folks, for the thrill it yields. Woody and Lew, sports and you, talking games, we love, it's true. Every play, every score, let's dive in, it's time for more. Lacing up the boots and calling plays, debates and laughs for all the days. From Fenway Park to Derby Run, sports talk magic just begun. Woody Lew, sports and you, sideline stories coming through. Every cheer, heartbeat soar, tune in now, we'll give you more. Celtics screams to Wildcats roar, touchdowns, goals, and so much more. Grab a seat, enjoy the ride, Woody Lew right by your side.
The views expressed by the hosts are their own and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the Department of Defense, the U.S. government, or any of its agencies. The information provided is for general informational purposes only and does not constitute legal advice. No attorney-client relationship is formed by providing this information, and nothing herein should be relied upon as legal counsel. For legal advice specific to your situation, please consult a qualified attorney. Braxton, happy Labor Day. Episode 16, football is back, baby. Woody Lew, sports and you. How you been, man?
Great, Dan. Football has been on the TV nonstop, and a lot of food and beverage has been consumed.
That's fantastic. So let's just hop right into it. What were your highlights from week 1 of college football?
Week 1. I don't know if we spoke about week 0, but started off strong in Ireland, and then week 1. When did week 1 start? I guess it started really with the Nebraska-Cincinnati game in Arrowhead.
Yep, Thursday night. Yep.
That was a great game. There's a subplot within that game that we won't talk about until we segue to another topic that's on the ticker. But getting to see Dylan Raiola do cosplay with his man obsession, Patrick Mahomes, in Arrowhead Stadium was the cringiest thing, and no better way to start it. Got to see Nebraska beat Nebraska with Matt Rule, and known competitor of the podcast, Matt Rule, with his podcast out, going against Scott Satterfield and Cincinnati Bearcats. That was something. And then just from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, now Monday night, we still have high-level games. So that's kind of been all I've been consumed with, and I know there's a lot of games we'll get into specifically.
Matt Rule. Speaking of Matt Rule, Braxton, do you think that the University of Alabama AD may have given Matt Rule a call to be the next coach of the Crimson Tide after Saturday's performance against Florida State University at Doak Campbell?
Matt Rule would not be a good hire, in my opinion, but if conditions are being set, I bet they are. I know Paul Feinbaum was electric today. There was some other Twitter spaces and radio shows immediately following on Saturday night into Sunday and today that were hot topics, talking about pretty much that DeBoer needs to hit the door and his time in Tuscaloosa might be quickly waning. So much so that Dan Orlovsky today said that he wouldn't be shocked and doesn't think it's unfeasible to say that Kalen DeBoer might not survive September in Tuscaloosa.
September? I find that hard to believe. That, I mean, who knows? I mean, Alabama, they're an institution. I would find it hard to believe that they wouldn't give him at least a second season, and then or can him 4 weeks into to season 2. But that was not a good game, and I was listening to Feinbaum today as well, and he characterized it, I think, at best, that they just looked lethargic, not into it. And you looked at the sidelines of the winners this past weekend, the big winners, your LSU, your Florida State, your Miami. Those sidelines, there was a buzz on those sidelines, and those players, they were into the game. They wanted to win.
Yeah, and you know, in the NIL era with now money getting sprung around, there might be a new nuance that head coaches have to deal with in inspiring players to be motivated for games. But you shouldn't have a hard time doing that at Alabama because it's Alabama. Nick Saban alone touchdown TCU games tied 7-7 or 6-7 must be 7-7.
Yeah, Braxton, before I'll let you continue, but another maybe not wise move from Woody Lew Sports and you. We'll have to talk to production. Going head to head Monday night with Bill Belichick's college debut, Chapel Bill, playing against TCU.
Air Jordan. No, so we'll get to them here in a little bit. But with Alabama, Nick Saban, not even talking about Barry Bryant, just Nick Saban just leaving the University of Alabama. He built in an amazing dynasty there. And that brand, given its long history, shouldn't have to be rebuilt, or it should just be a constant maintenance of it. I think it'd be ignorant to not think there would be some drop off when you lose a Nick Saban type. Going 9-3 was a fair record considering the drop off last year. I think that was 9-3 could be expected, especially in the SEC. But you got to go and beat a Florida State team on the heels of 2-10. Now you texted me about this. About you, I think you bet the Crimson Tide. I thought
I thankfully did not bet the Tide, but I did. I picked the Tide. I didn't put any money on it, but that was my pick was the Tide.
but there was reason to be nervous with the Gus Malzahn led offense. Known guy who's played Bama several times. Castellanos, a quarterback who's hungry. That Florida State team wanted it.
Yeah. I mean, and they had Tommy Castellanos, the transfer from Boston College, talking a lot of smack all summer.
Yeah.
I thought that was very stupid to give bulletin board material to Alabama. And I mean, he was a serviceable quarterback at BC, but obviously isn't playing there this season. But no, he backed it up. His stats weren't great, but he walked away with a W.
That was a Gus Malzahn offensive win. The way that he runs that spread off, like just grit and grind it out. Death by 1,000 cuts almost, if you will, with a couple shots here and there. But yeah, there's been a lot of film that's came out showing Alabama's players kind of just jogging, not going full speed on every play. And that's what Dan Orlovsky was talking about this morning. He's like, Nick Saban would cut 10 of these dudes today based on the effort. But I also saw, Dan, I mean, this is all stuff that I'm just seeing from like random media outlets. So it could just be someone trying to make a name for themselves on Twitter. But there's one guy who was going in about he's familiar with the program and the runnings of it, and that he believes Alabama's kind of lost their way. He was giving examples of knowing players who were having friends and DoorDashes getting delivered like 1 a.m. in Tallahassee the night before the game. Just kind of no discipline within the locker room. The locker room's not a player-led locker room, and the coaches are kind of absent. And they're just not doing those small things that, high-performing organizations do.
Yeah. And I think this has to hurt even more because I'm blanking on the starter's name for Alabama, but he was atrocious. And speaking of Boston College, a transfer out of Alabama to BC, Dylan Lonergan, starting under Bill O'Brien in year 2. I mean, again, they were playing Fordham, not a good program, but he looked fantastic.
Yeah, going with staying on the Alabama Florida State game, Ty Simpson, Alabama's quarterback. I mean, he's a 5th-year senior, so in theory he should have it figured out by now. But getting thrown into your first game at a very hungry and desperate and revitalized Florida State, it's a tough place to start out. And I think that is fair and worth mentioning for his sake.
And we do have some listeners. Thank you to our award-winning listeners. Probably have us tuned in while also watching the UNC TCU game. But we do have some chatter in the chat right now, Braxton. Good chirp from Gavin. Let's do the next show on Thursday night during the Eagles Cowboys matchup. We can oblige Gavin. We can definitely go head to head with Thursday night football. And then Ryan McFadden commenting on UNC TCU. Personally, I think Belichick is a bum and only has clout because of Brady. But we'll get into that in a few, Ryan. And then Ryan also says Ty Simpson, trash, with 4 H's, all caps.
A lot of H. Okay. H is also the letter that starts with hate. There's some hate there. The Ty Simpson slander. No, so, yeah, I mean, Alabama, Florida State is what it is. We'll see how Alabama pops back this week. Should get a win, but I think more than just winning next week and the weeks following, because you can't take a week off in Tuscaloosa. Kellen DeBoer is going to show some legitimate progress. Some other games from around Saturday.
Before we move on, Braxton, I do just want to say one thing, and I texted this to you on Saturday, and I'm going to sign the death certificate. I think as long as Kalen DeBoer is the coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide, Alabama is dead. The program is dead. It's a basketball school. They're not going anywhere under Kalen DeBoer. Wardam.
Wow, he threw the hat on. Wow, heel turn. I love it. I love the dramatics of it. Can I tell you this is a legitimate conversation we got to have?
Mm-hmm.
With the NIL rev share and how it's getting that split, that $21 million getting split between football, basketball, and the other sports, right? Alabama's already in a position where more money is going to be going to football. If you look at DeBoer's buyout over the 4-year span of his buyout, I don't know the exact numbers, but I don't think it dips below like $28 million anytime soon.
We'll use producer chat GPT. No, keep going.
So really, what I'm saying is, if they do make a move and they buy out Kalen DeBoer, you could see the basketball team's gonna be the obvious first thing that takes a hit, and you can see Nate Oates go for the hills and go somewhere else.
Yeah, wow. Hopefully this is accurate from producer chat GPT, but he signed an 8-year, $87 million deal entitled to 90% of the remaining contracts. So like right now, the buyout is at $63 to $69 million.
And basketball is going to be the first thing that takes a hit. Nate Oates will follow, because Nate Oates is he's a top 5 basketball coach in college basketball, so he's not going to stick around and play second fiddle, especially when they're going to start pinching pennies. So, a lot to be interested in. And Kaylee got really upset. She wanted to take that. We have the Roll Tide elephant door hanger, and we have like the kitchen stuff that says Roll Tide.
Did you rip it down again?
We got home from North Carolina, and she just wanted to take it all off. And I was like, Kaylee, like, stop. Kentucky won a rock fight against Toledo, and, like, I don't want to hear it. You've had so much good fortune. It was one game. Let's just relax a little bit. But they don't relax in Tuscaloosa.
No, they can't. That's why I love them. I do love – I will say, Braxton, I feel like I'm in the heart of SEC country right now. Like, Nashville's pretty centrally located. And I watched that Saturdays in the South documentary and the SEC series on Netflix, and I'm all in.
Yeah, so it's. Can we move on from Alabama? We won't give them too much time.
No time to relax from producer Kaylee.
Poor
and she said it too. Alabama football is dead. Also, putting a nail in the coffin of Kalen DeBoer's Crimson Tide.
Should have worn black today.
I should have worn black. I'm wearing South Carolina. They look fantastic against Virginia Tech.
Well, yeah. I didn't know if Shane Beamer was going to be able to coach that game without crying his eyes out the whole time because he's so emotional. Lenore Sellers looked good. It was an okay win. I don't think the takeaways like South Carolina, the preseason rankings, everything's a grain of salt.
Yeah.
I think that was really proven. We didn't talk the Texas Ohio State game. We had a 14-7 affair
Right.
there. Neither team really played like a top 5 program. Arch Manning didn't really play up to what he'd expect. I would buy the dip now though if you're having some Heisman long shots. But
I think week one, the offenses are nowhere near what they're gonna be. So strong defenses, and I think that's what won the week was the defenses that played well. Won the turnover battle.
Yeah, but South Carolina, like 13th team in the country, unranked opponent, Virginia Tech, playing in Atlanta. They looked fine. Lenore Sellers, I'm scared he's going to get like an Anthony Richardson glow up where they're going to be really convinced that this kid is, fringe Heisman caliber, can lead a team to victory on his own shoulders, and then they're going to end up pushing this kid out the door, rushing development, and he's going to end up, I don't know. I think he's fine, but they might just want to pump the brakes a little bit on him long term. That's just my take. He put it on us last year.
That's a pretty spot on take, the Anthony Richardson comparison. I think South Carolina would love to have him play like Anthony Richardson in college, but for his development, I think you're right.
Gonna slow it down, but we're jumping around a little bit, but
we're excited. We're excited.
Texas Ohio State. Did you have any takeaways from that other than like the Arch Manning kind of just he played?
What do you think about Ryan Day having a nipple piercing?
Do we think that was real?
No, I don't think so. He doesn't strike me as a nipple piercing guy.
No, but is it feasible though that he was in his like friends from college like group chat before last season? I was like, boys, if we win it all, like, or one of his friends like, yo, if y'all win the natty, you got to get your nipple pierced.
That's actually a pretty good. That's a good take. He could be one of those guys.
But if that's the case, he should share that because I think his approval rating across like the rest of college football would go up.
Absolutely. Everyone would love that. That'd be a man of the people, one of us.
Because he kind of looks like a movie villain. So if he like showed some personality, it's like, yeah, I got my nipple pierced because the boys, it was a bet. And I thankfully won and lost it simultaneously.
I can't even imagine that. Oh, God. Getting your nipple pierced. Yikes.
Well, we haven't settled on a punishment for our fantasy league.
Fuck that. Excuse me. Excuse me, Patsy. I thought we need a dump reel.
Press the dump button.
Oh, no.
What's going on in chat?
So moving on to Ohio State, Texas. Gavin saying Arch looked no better than Ty. That's spot on. If Arch was good, he wouldn't start over Ewers last year. And then from Ryan, agreed. Arch looked worse, and that's saying a lot. All capitals.
Yeah, no, I think I said that last show. Like, if Arch was really the truth, Quinn Ewers he didn't play like someone that you would just keep out there unless they had made Sark had made a deal with the devil and like promised him PT over the program.
I'm curious as far as like how much influence like the Manning family had like within like the walls of Texas football. But hey, Arch is he's not going to start the first 2 years. He's going to get select playing time. Very like manufactured. I don't want to say scripted, but like a lot of control over his development. The opposite of Anthony Richardson.
I'd say less Manning vocalized from the Mannings by way of agent in the NIL era because they can always just threaten. They can threaten transfer portal. But tell you this, you can't take a week off in the SEC because seeing how Texas played, and they play on the road at Ohio State. That's a big game, Lee Corso and all that. But then you look at LSU, Clemson. That game was awesome.
Yes.
And Brian Kelly in LSU being able, obviously they have Garrett Nussmeier, he's an NFL quarterback, but just grinding that out. That
game Klubnik, he's a projected number 1.
Exactly. There's teams with a bunch of dudes, and you can't take a week off. And does a week 1 loss mean you can't make the college football playoff? No, it doesn't really matter in the big scheme of things. But you can't take a week off, and I think this is going to highlight a lot of that for these top tier programs.
Yeah, and I going back to Ohio State, Texas. I mean, yes, he's supposed to be Heisman favorite, but first time start against a top three program in Ohio State on the road. Needs to play better. Should have played better, but I do think a little bit understandable against the reigning national champion.
Yeah, I mean, can't understate that.
But then, yeah, going to LSU Clemson, Brian Kelly gets his first opening day win. LSU Tigers. Have you watched any of that SEC show on Netflix, Braxton?
Yeah, I watched like the first 5 episodes. I didn't watch like the last 2 or so.
I have pretty strong feelings on Brian Kelly, but I am curious as a noted SEC guy, what you think of Brian Kelly.
I wouldn't play for him. He doesn't get me juiced up. And the show tries to, when they do those documentaries, unless they're like trying to make you like the bad guy, they usually make you pretty relatable, like showing me Shane Bieber having breakfast with his girls as if I care. Like I do the same thing. I don't like Shane Bieber, but Brian Kelly, he just seems like he doesn't. It seems forced. Like when he would be trying to fire up the boys, like it just didn't seem genuine. And I don't know how much respect he commands outside. Like I just didn't feel SEC coach out of him.
No, I mean he got a pretty good cut in the show, was my read on it. But yeah, he's blue collar, not blue collar. His dad was a politician in Boston and Chelsea, but like has that blue collar, like Irish vibe from the Northeast. Like I don't know how the hell he fits in Baton Rouge and sitting down in these, Southern living rooms talking to recruits' parents.
Right. I don't. I think he's kind of like out of place, but he did get in their first opening day win in what 5-6 years.
I mean, he's got a Heisman Trophy winner. This LSU team, they're looking. I think they're going to make it to the SEC championship game. They're going to be one of the two finalists in the SEC,
Sure.
make the playoff.
Yeah.
You got anything else on that, Braxton?
Sorry, I thought you were reading chat. No, but I sent you that picture of Dabo, the rat Dabo.
I wish I could put that up. I can
I
probably
know.
figure that out right now. I'll do some live producing.
When I was when we were watching the game and they were doing they were showing the bus drive to the entrance, and I was just openly praying that Dabo was just going to fall and rip his khaki to shreds.
Someone has to have like burst an Achilles on that run down the hill.
You can't convince me there wasn't a pre-game scratch based off injury related to running down that hill.
Oh, that hill.
At some echelon.
And speaking of that, I mean, I know we talked about it last season. Was how it there's been games that like I feel like Notre Dame played at Clemson one year and it was like a hurricane and just an absolute swamp. And Dabo just ate it running down that hill with his khaki pants. It was just covered in mud.
I can't stand the guy. I can't
You
stand
don't like
the guy.
him at all. We don't like to use the word hate on Woody Lew Sports and you, but Braxton hates Dabo Sweeney.
Team looked good though.
Yep.
Clear ACC favorite, yeah. Has to be, right?
Well, I mean, we got FSU had a big win over Bama. Let's see how much that goes this season. But Miami, speaking of another weather affected game, Miami Hurricanes over Notre Dame Fighting Irish at Hard Rock. Mario Ball Chris. Wait, what's his name? Mario Ball Cristobal.
Mario Cristobal.
Mario Cristobal. Why do I keep on saying Mario Ball? Maribel. Mario Cristobal. I'm not having a stroke. Thanks for your concern, chat. His defense, that revamped Miami defense, they were solid, and they for the most part shut down Notre Dame's twin-headed running back attack with Jeremiah Love and Price. Rookie quarterback and CJ Carr. He definitely came into his own in the second half and They had the lead, and I texted you this. Too much time. They left too much time on the
Well,
clock.
I think we were both inebriated, but I texted you as soon as they scored and said, "Is there too much time?" I think you simultaneously was texting me, "Too much time."
I misspelled it. Yeah, I was enjoying myself last night.
Here's the thing, though, and I don't want to hit like a not so fast, but Notre Dame, my Fighting Irish, which I have claimed this season, and this loss does not affect my viewpoint.
I don't know if but you did proclaim that, and we're always taking fans of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. But do we get the Braxton mush on the Irish?
No. Well, what I was going to say is Notre Dame. They correct me if I'm wrong, but we in recent years for sure we struggle early in the season.
Yes,
we struggle early in the season. And
Marcus Freeman's teams have this is his 4th year. They've kind of gotten off slow to start. I mean, last season was a huge win against A&M in College Station, but immediately lost at home to Northern Illinois.
But again, and if we're going to lose week 1,
right,
a 3-point game and a rocking Miami, and here's the thing: when I
ranked Miami,
and I had mentioned Clemson being my ACC favorite. Shannon Dawson's the offensive coordinator at Miami, and I watched us run Shannon Dawson out of Lexington, Kentucky, as our offensive coordinator. He did fine. Would they have 9 wins last year with the number 1 overall draft pick? They started off 9-0 and lost their next.
I want to say they lost like 3 of the last 4,
something to that effect. I would not put a lot of stock in what's his name? That quarterback, Sid the Sloth back there under center.
Carson Beck. That's right, Sid the Sloth.
Him and Shannon Dawson are just destined for long-term failure. And I think this win may do more bad for that program than good as far as their mindsets moving forward.
He's not a winner, Carson Beck. He's not a winner. And I think you're right. I think Notre Dame, they came, kind of slow out of the gates, but CJ Carr, I thought he looked pretty damn good.
He's a redshirt freshman.
Yep, redshirt freshman. He made some good throws. He's got a little bit of a ground game to him that I don't think anyone's expecting. He's more your traditional pocket passer.
Had a nice haircut too. That's a nice Katie.
He had a real good haircut. He's a good-looking guy. I was very impressed with the wide receivers. Jordan Faison, he was incredible. Greyheart, another great performance. I think they're going to be dangerous, the Irish. And we're getting some chirping from Gavin Braxton directed at you. ND we. Am I hearing a we from Braxton? The Toledo scare made you an ND fan?
No. So
no.
Here's the thing. Let me address Kentucky. Let's get Kentucky out of the way. Kentucky, we're not good. Zach Calzada is not good. Bush Hamden, our offensive coordinator, you might as well have some kid running college football 26 on coach's suggestions and click an X every time the new play comes up. Not good.
So Matt Jones could coach Kentucky.
No. We have 2 really good running backs, but our receivers, I think our wide receivers combined for 14 receiving yards. Our tight ends had the other 60 receiving yards. Our leading returning receiver from last year had -5 receiving yards. Our defense played great. Defense only gave up 14 points. They gave up a 95-yard drive at the very end. You could argue, how locked in they were, but they should be. But kind of, nature of the game there. Notre Dame, I like uplifting other people.
Yes.
And my co-host is an alumnus of.
You would not know from my outfit right now.
I love Jesus. touchdown Jesus. So yeah, like I don't think there's really any issue having a slight allegiance to Notre Dame in the background.
No, you support Jesus.
I mean, lawyered, judge approved.
You're also a noted fan of the D1 religious schools. Noted BYU Cougar fan, Braxton Lewis.
I am a
Elder Lewis.
On the record, big Mormon fan.
Yes.
Don't let BYU be 6-0 halfway through the season.
I don't even know who
Don't
did
let
they play.
that happen.
I don't even know. Did they?
I bet they're 1-0 though.
They beat Portland State 69-0.
It was an FCS school. They're making a statement with the score they put up. They like to have fun in Provo.
It's kind of an ironic number for BYU, wouldn't you say, Braxton?
Very ironic. It's probably the only 69 happened in that city.
A lot of soaking going on.
Sure.
Kid show. It's a kid show.
No, yeah, and I don't know. What did Gavin say? I can't read it.
He said the Toledo scare. Okay. I had 3 units on plus 10.5 Toledo. I stayed away from texting Braxton the entire day. Wow. It's your brother-in-law.
It's not a bad bet. It's a trendy bet.
It's a heady bet.
Well,
bet.
I would say Gavin. The only thing I would have said back to Gavin is he messed up not buying it at 7.5. He should have bought the mega dip. It got down to 7.5 and then got rebetted up to 10.5. And it opened at 13.5.
It dropped at 13.5. Dropped to 7.
It dropped a whole 6 points. Yes.
No love for Kentucky. And Big Blue.
I think it may have closed at 9.5. Is what it ended up closing at. Yeah, I should have bought it at 7.5. Toledo. But Toledo they have 2 DBs who are going to be in the NFL. They had really good secondary, which may be a result of why we couldn't pass the ball. We had a 100-yard rusher and like an 80-yard rusher, so we got some running backs. That's what happens when a guy commits armed robbery who was a starter at Oklahoma. You pick guys like that up. So we have athletes. I don't think we have the coaching staff, man. I don't think our offensive coordinator, and I don't know how much it is the OC versus Mark Stoops. I don't understand it. I really just don't understand it. Ole Miss.
You think Mark Stoops has plateaued at Kentucky? Like, you think he's brought it as far as the program can go?
Yes, I do, but I don't think that's all on Mark Stoops. I think Kentucky football plateaued. Like, I don't think Kentucky football is ever going to be a team that wins 10 games every year. We're a team that in a 5-year stretch will give you a 6-win season, 2 7-win seasons, maybe an 8-win season including the bowl game, and then either a 5 or 4-win season or a 9 or 10-win season. That's your 5-year span at Kentucky. I don't care who the coach is. And that's how it's always going to be.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but like getting rid of the divisions, I think hurt Kentucky. I just don't see them competing for an SEC title game now when all of the teams are basically eligible for it.
It destroyed us because if you go back to like 2017, 2018, 2019, pre-COVID, and then 2021, like those 4-ish seasons, I think 2 of those 4 seasons, we were playing Georgia, or the winner would be winning the SEC East. Obviously, we didn't beat Georgia in those 2 or 3 games where the winner would go to the SEC championship. But the fact is, if the schedule aligned for us and we had a chance to where if we beat Georgia, we got to SEC championship, like anything can happen in a one-off game. So there was theoretically a world where we could have won that one game that got us there. But now
that's great for the fan base too, like playing for something.
Right. But with the loss of the divisions, the addition of Oklahoma and Texas, we would have to cheat on a large scale, circumventing the NIL league out. I don't know what we'd have to do, but
You
we
need
have to
your
have like
equivalent of Chapel Bill. I don't know who that is in Kentucky. That'd be like Andy Reid coming to coach at UK.
or I mean, we'd have to have Saudi money, to really do
Yeah, some
something.
piff make it way to Lexington.
Yeah, we'd have to sell. We'd have to turn our heads to some things happening in order to get to this point, and that's okay as long as our basketball team is doing it. It is what it is, man.
Speaking of football divisions, this is we're kind of off the rails here, but you know what? It's football is back, baby. It's okay. We're excited. I'm reading a fantastic book right now called The Ancient Eight, and it's about Ivy League football and basically how each year is an absolute slugfest for the Ivy League championship. There's no title game. It's purely just based off of the 8 or 7 regular season games that each team plays every other team in the league, and it's often a shared crown. And it's a fun book talking about a lesser, well, not lesser known, but I would say lesser caliber of football.
That's cool. Sure.
I recommend it for you to read, The Ancient Eight.
The Ancient Eight. I'd read that. It's
Woody Lew scores a new book recommendation.
I love when College Game Day goes to Harvard. Yeah, those are always really good Saturdays. There's also some history there, and I can appreciate that. That's good. I'm reading The Terminalist right now. It's a good book.
Ooh, I started watching the was it Dark Wolf
Yes.
prequel series with Taylor Kitsch.
Riggs is the man. Best tight end in Texas high school football history.
That's right. Texas forever.
Yeah, so I'm reading Terminalist because I want to read it before I watch it.
So you haven't watched the Chris Pratt show?
No, so I bought the Terminalist probably back in 2020 during COVID, and I never opened it up. Kaylee's been watching The Summer I Turned Pretty on Amazon Prime. I noticed that Chris Pratt has taken the role of Lieutenant Commander Reese on the Terminalist on Amazon Prime.
He's kind of found a niche in playing like SEALs.
Yeah, and I was like, hey, I have that book. I want to be the guy who reads the book and then watches the show and then critiques it.
Nice.
And I want to be the guy that when someone brings up the Terminalist, my first response is, "Have you read the books?" And then I try to outsnide them by letting them know I read the books before, it was a Amazon show or whatever.
Yeah. And Ryan McFadden, Dark Wolf is way better than the first one. I agree with that, Ryan. I'm
no spoilers.
No spoilers. I'm through episode 2 of Dark Wolf. That might be the only. I think there's only 2 episodes out. There might be 3. But so far, I am enjoying it more than the original series Terminalist.
Are you Team Conrad or Team Jeremiah?
Excuse me?
Are you Conrad or Jeremiah?
I don't know what that means.
You got to pick one right now.
Conrad or Jeremiah? Jeremiah.
That's unfortunate. It's a bad pick.
I don't even know what the question is.
So anyway,
what just happened?
Summer I Turned Pretty.
I don't know. I haven't seen that.
It's on Amazon Prime. You have Amazon Prime?
I do have Amazon Prime.
Check it out.
Okay.
Well,
I'm doing this too, Braxton, talking book series before the show comes out. I might get just eviscerated by the chat, but I'm on book 2 of Fourth Wing. That's going to be a Amazon show. They bought the rights to it.
So happy you brought that up, Daniel. My wife has the Fourth Wing first book.
Okay.
I believe it's a black book, and it has dragons and moons
it's kind of like
stars on the pages.
It's got a lot of black on the cover. I read the original when we were in Poland.
So, and I'm glad you said that because that makes me very uncomfortable knowing where our beds were located and you read the book because Kaylee purchased this book. She had it on her bedside table. She was like in the bathroom taking a shower. I was like, hey, I'm going to check out this book on the side of the bed. I opened it up to a random page. I started reading it in the middle of this book. No bookmark or anything. I just opened it up to a page. And the vulgar inappropriateness of a scene between 2 people that I read had me floored.
Yeah, I couldn't believe a friend. Because I was looking for books to read when we were in Poland, and a friend
You did not
recommended
tell
it.
you did not
No,
tell a single person
no,
the
I did
reason you
not.
were reading that.
Nope.
You read that on your Kindle, I bet, so we wouldn't see it.
Precisely.
You were reading those scenes next to me?
Yeah.
Jeez. That's not
yeah, it was I felt uncomfortable reading most of that book. I also thought that they were in high school. I thought it was like a
Aren't they like the Citadel for dragons?
yeah, so they're technically in college, thank God. Because when I thought they were in high school, I was just I don't feel comfortable. I thought it was like
There's
Harry
an
Potter.
article. There's an article in the UCMJ for that.
Yes, there
It'll
is.
rank you
Yes.
up.
Conduct unbecoming for sure.
Is there like a illicit use of smut? Is that an article we can find?
Yeah, that'd be 134. That would be a service discrediting.
Did you know smut, the word smut, prior to reading this book?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's what like Barstool Sports, like forever they peddled on smut.
Really?
Yeah, like the Barstool Smoke Show of the day, like that's smut.
That's not smut to me. Smut is the book stuff. I don't like the book stuff.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? You don't have to say it. This is a kid's show. It's smutty.
Inside joke, Ryan McFadden.
Oh, interception, North Carolina. Sorry.
No, that's good. I need these updates. Kaylee plus Braxton plus books equals bad, but funny memories. Braxton will understand. Make sure to read this to him, and Kaylee, don't delete my comment. Is this something we can share on Woody Lew Sports and You live, Braxton? Don't forget we're live.
No, it's not.
Okay.
That would be a dark show that we do that you can subscribe for 99 cents.
We could do Woody Lew Sports and You, like a midnight Patreon.
Yeah, an uncensored podcast that you can pay money to listen to. I'll share that story.
But yeah, Fourth Wing, second book. It's pretty good, and there's not as much smut yet. I'm only like maybe a quarter of the way through.
Would you describe it as a book with smut or a smutty book?
I think it's a book with smut. Okay. It's basically like it's a more like, we all think about like what was going on at like Hogwarts. It doesn't go there, whereas like Fourth Wing, it goes there.
Do we all think about what's going on at Hogwarts?
No.
You made the point that we all think about it.
I mean, you saw like, okay. The SNL with Lindsay Lohan when she was Hermione Granger.
No,
like, that's just like pop culture.
Okay. Sure.
This is going off the rails.
I did not see us talking about the Fourth Wing tonight, but here we are.
Yeah. It's going to be an Amazon show. Basically be a pornography.
I mean, I can't wait to see the rating on that.
Oh, it's definitely going to be MA.
Thinking about what people do in their free time. Travis and Taylor got engaged.
That's right. Yeah, that was that was right before the Nebraska
yes, because
Cincinnati game.
They had their first public appearance at the game. Me and Kaylee were laying in bed. They showed Travis and Taylor, and I was vigorously trying to wake Kaylee up to show her Taylor, and she was not interested. I kept saying, "Hey, there's Taylor," and I don't think she realized the how monumentous of a moment that was.
So who was it? I think it was JD Vance, who is already putting out there that there's a conspiracy that the NFL will rig the season for the Chiefs to make the Super Bowl and have like a Super Bowl wedding.
Yeah, I love that. I hope like the DOJ gets involved.
Tampering.
I hope so.
You think there any do you think there's ever any like leagues, whether it be NBA, NFL, do things to ensure a narrative that they want to happen with results of games?
No, the only I don't. The only narratives I think that they work in to the storyline of the season is scheduling, but I don't think it's ever with an intent of like rigging. With this, with as much with how big and anti-gambling and how you can literally beat your wife into a pulp and get countless DUIs and still play the game. But if you are an NBA player and you bet the over on the Braves Phillies, you'll get like a lifetime suspension. I would like to imagine they wouldn't be bold enough to, have that double standard.
Yeah. Yeah. Growing up, I always thought, like, because my teams were always in the championship, for the most part, with the Celtics, Patriots, and Red Sox. During like the final series, I always thought there was conspiracy going on within the series to get it to go to like 7.
Well, okay, I'll tell you this. And I don't know, there's human error, right? Like no one's perfect.
Right.
If you watch the LSU Clemson game, we're not talking about it, I think, because LSU won. But the touchdown that got called back on Barryon Brown, Barryon Brown caught that ball on like the 2-yard line. Caught the ball on the 2-yard line, ran, crossed the pylon with the ball, then tripped and fell out of bounds. And I would argue retained possession, but kind of bobbled it as he was falling.
Mm-hmm.
But let's not negate the fact that he caught the ball on the 2-yard line, ran it across the pylon, and then tripped up and fell and maybe bobbled it. And they called that back as an incomplete pass. That makes you wonder if the ref had, Clemson -3 potentially. But I don't know how much human error that is, but that was a crazy call. And I always get suspect when you have like both
6 TCU.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Yeah, I did. And also that was Ryan McFadden. Another question about how excited you got about the interception. Do you have money on UNC? Braxton.
No, do not. Georgia, there's not legal gambling offered in the state of Georgia where I reside.
That's right. Law-abiding citizen.
That is right.
Sorry to interrupt you there. That was,
no, you're good. There's a flag on the play. I don't have the as excessive or something. But I always get a little suspect when you have a situation where the play-by-play guy, the color commentator, and the rules analyst, Matt Austin, in New York, when all three of those dudes are on the same page about a play, and then like the refs on field go the opposite, like
right.
How does that happen?
Yeah.
It wasn't even a hung jury,
And I was listening to, it was the South Carolina-Virginia Tech game, and there was the same thing happened, and they were all about like the spot of the ball and like where the ball was, and then they came back that the spot it wasn't where everyone thought it was, and it wasn't a first down. And it begged the question, I forget which of the announcers posed it, but it's like, when are we going to just put like a GPS into the ball so that like we know where it is?
Yeah, GPS in the ball. I guess they did it in the Hall of Fame game. I think the preseason with the chain gang having the
NFL. Yeah, the NFL got rid of the chains.
I think they still have the chains. They were just trying out the technology.
I thought they were going live with that during the regular season.
They were still walking with the chain gang though.
Oh, okay.
But what I'm saying, I mean, the GPS in the ball would be the next revolution. I don't know what type of GPS apparatus you'd have to have.
Do like one of the Apple
But how does that resonate with what yard line on this random grass field you're at? Does each yard line have also a GPS that dictates what yard it is?
Like a laser or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Get out of here! No, and pylon cam.
Get out of here.
The pylon cam doesn't even work all the time, dude. How are they going to do that? If you touch the pylon cam, it just cuts out black. Like,
it's kind of like our podcast.
Yeah,
don't touch anything.
You do one thing wrong, and it's just you don't got it. So,
knock on wood. We haven't had any technical difficulties.
No, not yet.
But speaking of Moneyline and Braxton, Braxton's bets. Braxton, what do you got for this coming weekend?
I got some winners for you. Everyone's going to overreact after week 1. That's kind of just what we do as my phone with my bets that I had pulled up goes away, and I'm pulling it back up.
Got notes.
After week one, everyone kind of, they get all nervous and they let, some week one stuff happens and people get scared hands, but scared money does not make money. One thing you're going to find yourself in a situation this coming week and week two is a lot of these big time schools are playing FCS programs where it's
They're covering though. They covered this week.
Where it's typically hard to get money lines for, depending on the book that you use. But some ones that I would like to highlight, and we're going to start off with Ole Miss and Kentucky. This one is close to me in heart. So the spread is Mississippi State 10.5. We're not looking there on the spread though, because I don't really know what Lane Kiffin's going to do. And if you look at the last 5 games between Kentucky and Ole Miss, the winner's been decided by 3 points. What bet I do like on Kentucky Ole Miss is the total right now is at 52.5. Also, gamble responsibly. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Bet what you can afford. Money or the over/under is at 52.5. I would love the under.
Really, I kind of think the over.
I'd love the under, and I'll tell you why, Daniel.
Okay.
Kentucky's defense is good. Our offense is abysmal. But I do think we could have a top 7 defense in the SEC, which will probably translate to a top 25, top 20 defense in the country. We're not – Ole Miss isn't scoring 52 points, and Kentucky's not scoring 17. I'd look for this game to be about 31-10, 31-17, 34-17. All of those are going to keep you under that 52.5. It's not going to be a shootout from the Kentucky standpoint, so I really like the under on that.
Braxton's bets under Ole Miss, Kentucky.
That's my first one.
That's 3:30 Eastern, ABC.
I got a dicey one for you. It's going to be at 12 o'clock on ESPN Saturday. Illinois and Duke.
Ooh.
Illinois is going to Duke. Illinois is a 2.5-point favorite.
12th ranked Illinois. I didn't realize that.
2.5-point favorite. And I would love to take Illinois 2.5.
Okay.
Next one I got for you is going to be Baylor SMU. Baylor coming off their Auburn loss, going into 16th ranked Southern Methodist. SMU is a 3-point favorite. Total is 65.5. You want to hear something crazy, Dan?
Yeah.
Give me Baylor. Money line.
Okay.
That's going to hit you at plus 120 odds.
On the CW.
On the CW. Iowa State. 22nd ranked Iowa State hosting the Hawkeyes of Iowa. 12 o'clock on Fox. The big noon kickoff, if you will. They got Iowa State 3.5-point favorite. Total 41.5. You want to hear something crazy?
You're not taking the over, are you?
Give me the under, baby.
That's not crazy. I feel like Iowa State, it's always the under. That's just Midwestern defense.
Okay, and I'll wrap this up with Braxton's lock of the week.
Okay.
For my lock of the week, we're going to be headed up north to Syracuse, New York.
Mm-hmm.
Syracuse coming off a loss to 24th ranked Tennessee. They'll be hosting the Huskies.
Jim Mora
of Connecticut. Syracuse is a 6.5-point favorite. I would really love to see a situation where we parlayed Syracuse 6.5 and took the under of 58.5.
Yeah. Braxton, these are great bets. These are, might as well just be giving money away. Make yourself a 501c charity.
You listen to the show and your accounts go up. Pockets get deeper. Those are my bets. If you want to get real crazy, if you wanted to say, hey, Saturday I'm hosting some friends over. We're going to get a big food spread. I'm going to go buy the boys a case of beer. But I don't want to spend that money. I want to make that money back quickly because, payday's not going to be for another 7-10 days. I got you.
Payday activities.
You're gonna parlay the Ole Miss Kentucky under with Syracuse Spread, Syracuse under, and then you're going to get all your money back. I don't know what those odds will produce. That'll probably get you around 420,
I have no
and
idea.
you'll get that money back. So that's my lock of the week. I know Ryan's going to test this. So, Ryan, let me know how you make out.
Yeah, Ryan's saying too, and he likes the picks for the most part. And he's also saying in the early part of the season, hammer the under in the first half.
We could get real if you want Braxton's best to start going to some player props and some like quarters. I could really get deep in that. He's right. If you just bet week 0 through like week 3, if you just bet first quarter totals and first quarter spreads, you can make some money.
I agree. And speaking of sports gambling and making some money, want to get into fantasy football, Braxton?
Yeah, I think we'll close the night out with our fantasy. We had our draft last night. Draft last night was dicey. We were at a friend's house. The girls decided to take a nap yesterday, so bedtime kind of got pushed to around 8:30.
That was draft start time.
Draft started at 8. We weren't anticipating staying another night there, so I didn't have my laptop. I just had my phone. I'm on road game, someone else's house, trying to conduct bedtime rituals with the phone while trying to be polite. It was difficult. I got a B draft grade.
I got a B as well.
In the power rankings post draft, I'm number 5 of 13, which is exactly what I was last year.
Oh, I see the power rankings.
You got to go in there, and I was I think I got a fringe playoff team, Dan.
I was the runner-up last year, and now I want to standings. I see where are the power rankings?
You keep talking. I'll pull them up for you, buddy.
Okay. Projected playoff bracket. Oh,
keep talking. I'll get this.
So yeah, the draft. So it was questionable if we were going to have basically the league that we had last year. There was some last minute, I want to say like additions or subtractions, but some last minute RSVPs for the draft, Braxton.
Yeah.
As commissioner, I mean, you got to lock this down. You can't have people saying they're showing up or not showing up hours before the draft.
I was texting everybody trying to get this thing together because I ended up going with we did the draft based off real life, if you will, where we did reverse order of finish. And then I randomized the 3 new additions. For reference, when you're thinking about who won the draft, if you're just going off me and Dan alone, I won the draft as I am picked 5th in power rankings and Dan is picked 6th. So,
I like that. We're like neck and neck. Tell me, please tell me that producer Colin is not number 1.
Producer Colin he decided to, more on him later, but he decided to one-up us and finish 4th.
Okay.
Listener of the show, Chris Lewis, came in at 3rd.
The Mad Hatter.
Mad Hatter came in at 3rd. And then Kissing Cousins was 1st in the league. I don't remember who Kissing Cousins is. I think actually that is Serpico's wife, who had the number one draft pick.
Is that an auto pick?
Her team was pretty good. Duty Booties at number 2, which I believe is commenter of the show.
Listener, yeah.
Yep.
Trooper Mac.
When you have a 13-man league, it's gonna get dicey.
Kissing Cousins is one Michael Serpico.
So he was one who was on the fence.
Notably,
2 hours before the draft, asked what platform we use, as if he wasn't in the league last year.
Devil's advocate, he might be a guy that has multiple teams in multiple leagues.
I think he might have just lost track
of which was which.
Have you noticed that they've updated the ESPN Fantasy app a lot? It's a lot more in depth.
Yeah, I think it mirrors the ESPN Bet app a little bit more. I like it. I like the ESPN app.
Did you see who I drew for week 1?
Let's look at the schedule.
Producer Kaylee.
That's fantastic.
Love that, don't you?
Oh, that's so good. What's the projection?
I'm projected to be the victor. 53% chance of winning. She has a 47% chance. I'm projected 122 points to her at 114.
Wait, I forgot we have an odd number. I'm not even playing in week 1. I have a bye. Jesus, Braxton.
You got a bye week.
Well, I guess I'll have more time to read Fourth Wing, Iron Flame.
What's your team just to go off this week too?
That would hurt.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
No, it's not your fault. Well, it kind of is. You're the commissioner.
Yeah, I should have been out in front of that.
I don't think I've ever had a bye in fantasy.
I didn't know they had bye weeks in fantasy. Oh man.
Well, I feel like on that note, Braxton, any final thoughts before we sign off on this Labor Day Monday to watch the rest of Chapel Bill and UNC TCU?
No, I appreciate everyone tuning in and listening. I hope you like, subscribe, comment, and follow us on Spotify.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, and have a great week.